What has caused the priest Discord to explode into all sorts of tomfoolery, Matt?
Yep. No more sharing nightmare. Mind Flay is now a thing you spend your insanity on instead of just press all day and fall asleep.
Sounds good.
And Mind Spike now exists, so you can blast the hell out of people without having to think about dots very hard. If you choose to do so, it gives you big critties on your Mind Blast and other things that I haven't read into very well.
Yeah, I haven't really read in, but I guess I'll talk about some of these. So,
everyone's happy. Oh, Void Shift owns.
Yeah, they say the original tree had pretty limited choices. It was obvious what direction you were supposed to go on based on spec. That's always, in fairness to them, that's an issue that any designer would grapple with as they sort of shape these into something. Additionally, they want to reel back how much throughput is in the class tree. And while there will be some, they want to focus more on utility and then, throughputs for the spec. So here are some new abilities that all priests get in the core tree. So Angelic Bulwark. When an attack brings you below 30% health, you get an absorb shield equal to 15% of your max health for 20 seconds. All right. That's a fucking nice little backstop to have. Void Shift. You and your currently targeted part of your raid member swap health percentages. Increases the lower health percentage of the two to 25% if below that amount. People are going to be doing some clutch bullshit with that. So that's pretty sweet. We've got Holy Word Life. A word of holy power that heals the target. If the target is below 35% health, Holy Word Life heals 400% more and its cooldown's reduced by 20 seconds. So that's just like a big priest button.
Hey, you finally get Word of Glory.
Fucking paladins, man. For the Holy Tree, their goal with Holy is for more specialization into your favorite spells, whether that's going a bit more into your single target, your AoE interactions with Prayer of Healing and Holy Word Sanctify, or you just want to renew your entire group. We hope you find a playstyle you'll enjoy. So here's some examples. Revitalizing Prayers. Prayer of Healing has a 30% chance to apply a 6-second renew to allies that it heals. Another one, Harmonious Apparatus. Circle of Healing reduces the cooldown of Holy Word Sanctify. Prayer of Mending reduces the cooldown of Holy Word Serenity. And Holy Fire reduces the cooldown of Holy Word Chastise by 2/4 seconds. I guess that whole cooldown reduction is, it's always been a part of them since Legion, right?
That's good.
We've got Spirited Litany. After Prayer of Mending heals 80/40 times, Power Infusion you get for 10 seconds. All right. Now, Disc. This is the one that'll, I guess, I'll be able to understand because I've not touched Holy since Legion. But Disc I have been playing, even though everywhere says it is the worst thing for M+ dungeons. And I can certainly sometimes feel why. But also, I'm not skilled enough. For me, I don't have to worry about my spec being bad. I have to worry about me being bad. And I am really having a blast playing Disc. I just love the broad theme. So it'll be interesting to see where they're going. So they say they're trying to address a lot of dependency issues that existed. And like Holy, address a lack of connectedness in the tree. So here's some examples of how they're going to do that. Power Word Shield has a cooldown. And there you go. The cars of Belfast have spoken. They've weighed in the issue. So Power Word Shield has a cooldown. Its absorb has been significantly increased. Weakened Soul has been removed. Renew and Flash Heal can now apply Atonement and are intended to be our primary sources of Atonement application. So instead of just giving everyone a shield, basically, we'll be giving everyone a little hot with Renew. Or if we want to do more direct heal, we use Flash Heal. I suppose then they're just going to go with Flash Heal as your Econ heal, and maybe Shadow Mend is your Mana Go Bye-Bye heal.
Unless they're not giving you Shadow Mend.
Yeah, I haven't.
Shadow Mend replaces Flash Heal, so.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I literally haven't logged in. No, that probably. No, you're right. That makes sense. It would be ridiculous to have two forms of just straight single target healing on the. It's not the point of the spec. Yep. So that would be daft. Okay, yes. Our aim is to allow for individual Power Shield casts for each spec to be more valuable. As well as reducing frustration surrounding Weakened Soul debuff. So sweet. Now, let's take a look at some of the other things we're getting. Expiation?
Expiation, yeah.
Expiation?
Yeah.
I shall update my lexicon then.
Expiation is the act of making amends or reparation for guilt or wrongdoing. It is another word for atonement.
It would be pretty... yeah, they couldn't call two things atonement. That would have been awkward. Okay, increases the damage of Mind Blast and Shadow Word Death by 10/20%. So that would be for each rank. Oh, no, that's for each one of them. It'll be nice chunky Shadow Word Death. Mind Blast and Shadow Word Death consume 3/6 seconds of Shadow Word Pain or Purge the Wicked, instantly dealing that damage.
That's cool. I like the idea of consuming dots. That's strong.
I've always liked that. And I guess if that all flows through into Atonement, that'll be just a big old yum.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. That's cool. All right. Aegis of Wrath. Actually, fuck yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Okay, right. Aegis of Wrath. Powered Shield absorbs 30% additional damage, but decays 3% every second. And then Divine Aegis. Critical heals create a protective shield on the target, absorbing 15% of the amount healed, lasting 15 seconds. Crits of Powered Shield absorb 15% extra. So, there you go. Bit of spit and polish, bit of stuff like that going on to disc. And as we move on to Shadow, it seemed like there's interesting things going on here where they want to address the dungeon gameplay surrounding Searing Nightmare.
Yeah, because that's grim.
Fill us in on what that's been, Matt.
It's fundamentally just been Searing Nightmare is a pain in the balls, more or less. It's like you just Mindseer, you multi-dot and you Mindseer. Mindseer is pointless, and then Searing Nightmare, which is like, I remember that comes at, was it the talent that applies your dots quickly, which is what you want. Was it called Misery, I believe, which Vampiric Touch applies Shadow Word Pain. And it's just this awkward part of, no, this is profoundly didn't really work for people, having the big spend. And now they're just going, okay, well, they basically turned, as far as I'm aware, they turned Mindseer into Searing Nightmare, ostensibly by having it a long channel and drain the actual insanity. So it's a little bit just, I guess, a more simple version that doesn't have more fucking buttons to press that don't feel good. Because that's a thing where you can have enough buttons, you can have like a good amount of buttons, and then you can have slightly too many buttons that start to crowd each other out. Yeah. Which is one of the problems Enhancement Shaman faces.
Yeah, it's if you go heavily and then select there was a point in, it was either I think it was in Shadowlands, it was either Shadowlands or BFA, where whatever way it was, you could just choose all the active talents as enhancement, and it would be fucking crazy. It was just madness.
Yeah, so now they've added, so Shadow Crash will apply Vampiric Touch to 4 targets. Dark Void will apply a load of Shadow Word Pains. Basically, they know that multi-dotting is not fun. And you see that with what they did to Feral as well, where they went, okay, well, Rake now applies to 2 targets with that talent. So you can see there's a little bit of that. I mean, there's, Shadow Word Death is now, it'll radiate to Shadow Word Pain within 40 yards targets. And it's all that stuff of your single target will just spread. Instead of giving you a bunch of different buttons, we've given you a way to spread your stuff out, and
that kind of will spread my dot.
Yeah, and that's the stuff that makes complete sense with that kind of thing, especially when Mindseer is just so lifeless. So they go, fuck it, we'll buff the shit out of it, make it cost something. There you go, work away, and then obviously Mind Blast damage increasing for Psychic Link, and that's the thing of, because this is something that actually I mentioned it slightly in the last FF video. As soon as you have a boss with AoE and FF14, you're just like, oh, fuck me, time to go to sleep. And Ninja's actually not even that bad for it, because I have to keep up Doton. I have my Mecha Kokek to stuff.
Red Mage.
Yeah, my Hellfrog Medium. And it's like, well, Red Mage isn't too bad because it just replaces your single target with AoE abilities, basically.
It's just less buttons.
Yeah, but for me, it's like, I basically, once I'm out of ninjutsus, I just Shift Q and Shift A. That's all. That's all. Shift Q and Shift A. Oh, you're looking at these things. Spares came with it.
Oh, it came with spares, right? I was like, did we just find like a dupe bug in real life? Sadly, we didn't.
No, it was looking at these things that hold the mic in.
Oh, could you see me?
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
No, I know. It was more, I was literally watching. It's like, I can't keep my train of thought while you're flinging the little fucking thing about. But
Whoops.
Yeah, so it's like, there's a little bit of multi-dotting. And I think that's the thing where everyone's multi-dotting a little bit. Lots of every dot class becomes multi-dotting. I think, because obviously Ghost says multi-dotting is fun and Aflock. Yes, absolutely, that's like the point.
Yeah, do a Seed of Corruption and it pops and it's like, oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, but I think a lot of it was just here's more multi-dots, here's stuff, especially in how fast dungeon content tends to be on kind of smaller damage stuff. It's like, well, by the time you're set up, you're like, oh, it's over. Shit, well, that's pointless.
Well, yeah, and that's why I love those things that, like, consume a dot. Like, even the idea of, you plant your seed of corruption, now everyone's got corruption, and, like, you could do some special fucking super suck in them. Who the hell knows? But... yeah, I guess it's fun that they seem to be exploring, like on Feral, they're like exploring the design space of like what they can do with dots more. So I think that's that's interesting. It's very interesting to me as somebody who's generally never really been in a super multi-dotting, class or anything like that. So neat. Then for monks, right? I forgot stuff's happened with monks.
It is mostly just addressing normal concerns and going, hey, okay, so you have too many buttons now in some optimal builds. And they're not really, they don't feel good to press, so we'll trim those out of Mistweaver. Oh yeah, fist weaving. Okay, yeah, well, we have got these numbers wrong, so we'll move things a little bit and try to get builds actually working. And to that, they have improved that enough a little bit with their changes. Just a couple of, because I remember looking the first time I built the fist weaving tree, and I was like, I'm making a lot of weird sacrifices and grabbing stuff I really don't want to be grabbing to get down here. But they seem to have changed a little bit of that around. They're adding some stuff to Renewing Mist to kind of add a few little synergies. And then Essence Font was just like, why is it like, this is a build I can go for, but why is it up there? Why am I spending so much to get it? And then, but to be fair, they're kind of going, yeah, this is sort of, here's the reason why we've done this. So fair enough. So it is fairly interesting that they're kind of explaining some stuff, but also solving problems at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's like, I still think there's like core design issues with Mistweaver that I personally don't like very much. Like, I really wish I wish they took some of the Shadow Priest approach and went, hey, here's cool things you can do with your Soothing Mist in your channel, because they kind of miss that. But then fist weaving is also good too, so it's hard to say. But it's honestly, generally, I'm super, super pleased with the beta's wave of updates.
This was a really lovely wave.
Yeah, they've been fucking big win. I mean, the idea of Feral being, even if it's not like, oh, it's so much infinitely better now. Because I think one of the problems with the hyper optimization of World of Warcraft, and also how no, not that frivolous is the word, how fervorous people are towards their spec and class, that even a small change can make the big difference over time. And that's the thing, where if Feral starts to feel to people like it's not dead, it's getting attention, it's not just going to be the red-headed stepchild, or as I said last week, the step-headed red child. Once it's actually solved, then people will be happier to play it. And even I immediately like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll see what all these talents feel like in the next build. Maybe I'll do a couple dungeons as Feral, see what it's like, see if I maybe actually want to play it. Because as much as I want to play Prop Paladins, like, you know what? Maybe Feral Druid work. And then I could share all that. Because would I enjoy Feral more than I enjoy Ret? Probably. Would the difference between me enjoying Prot and Bear or Guardian make sense? Haven't played Guardian in a while, so I don't know what that's like, but maybe. Could be. But that's the thing. These changes kind of make me go, oh, this means a lot to me, because I could main a different character next expansion.
Yeah.
Could do.